Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Bleav in 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash. Right there's my brother Teja Dash, and our guy, former Sixers point guard Eric Snow, is not joining us again today. He'll be joining us shortly, within the next few weeks or so. He's got a lot of things going on where he's at right now. So we're handling the show while Eric gets it right. I know he's like really into his basketball right now. I know he's coaching his sons, so he's kind of locked in on that. They do a lot of traveling too, so it's pretty intensive stuff. So we wish Eric and his fam luck as I guess the basketball season kind of heats up here for high school basketball. So a lot of things are heating up in the Sixers world. And again, we want to give a shout out to all of our subscribers and new subscribers who were excited to have us back last week. And like we said, we're going to be more consistent doing it every show, every week. So once a week we'll be doing them. This is our second straight Friday show. I can't remember the last time we had two back-to-back shows. It's been quite a while.
We're streaking, baby.
We are streaking. We're back. So let's kind of get into it. I know last week we talked about the exciting things, the Edgecombe, Embiid looking like himself again. But this is kind of a sad story, I would say. I mean, it still remains to be seen what happens.
Unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. But Jared McCain was a star for us last year before he had the injury. But just logged 30 total minutes across the last 4 games, averaging about 8.2 minutes per game over the last 5 games. And that includes a few blowouts where bench guys just usually see extended time, and that's where he saw most of his minutes come. Nick Nurse and the staff have reportedly said they haven't discussed sending McCain to the G League, which he did have a G League stint in the beginning of the season. But that may need to change. The rookie's role continues to shrink and just to get the guy some playing time. So my question is, what's going on here? McCain coming off the major knee injury. A team could be easing him back cautiously. But is this kind of the right way to handle him as far as like getting him back into the swing of things, like giving him 6 to 8 minutes? Or do you think that Nick Nurse should kind of send him to the G League to get him some minutes in this time? I don't understand what's going on here. I know in the beginning of the season we talked about we need a backup guard for Maxey, but then now we're seeing Maxey and Edgecombe play the most minutes a game of the season right now, and this guy, a promising young guard who was probably going to win Rookie of the Year before his injury, is now getting about 8 minutes per game. This is very Doc Rivers-ish, shall I say.
Well, the difference is Doc Rivers was doing that when we actually needed someone to take on that role. Like now we have like a abundance of guards. That I guess that's the biggest difference. I think one of the biggest differences in him struggling to get as many minutes would be the amount of minutes that Grimes gets on a given night. I don't think I think we thought Edgecombe would get as much as he can get. I mean, if he looked great, then he'd just get a lot. Maxey's obviously going to lead the league or be top 5 in minutes. But I don't think anyone anticipated. What's Grimes? Grimes is averaging 30, almost 32 minutes a game. That's a lot. I don't know if people were expecting that. Maybe some of his minutes could have came from there. I mean, look, I just think he's struggling to regain form. But let's take a little closer look at what his form was, right? He was a really good ascending young player. He had really good stats, but a lot of that was situation. We had nothing going on. He was pretty much one of our only sources of offense. It's kind of like Grimes last year, right? Like Grimes took over, nothing was going on, and he was just like, all right, I'm just going to jack him up. And then they went in. He looked good. We were losing games, but he looked good doing it. The difference is, and why I think Grimes is able to adjust to everyone coming back, right? Because it's not easy to take over and get all the minutes and all the shots when no one's around, and then all of a sudden you have a full-time return of Maxey, George, and Embiid, the addition of VJ. That's a lot. That's like 140 minutes of playing time right there. You just add it up, and a lot of on ball, a lot of usage, right? Grimes is having more success at adapting because he has played with rosters with guys that he's had to share and be like, okay, I have 22 minutes in this game. I need to get mine when I have 22 minutes without fully upsetting the balance of the team. And I credit Grimes with that. He did a really good job of adapting to this. Um, Grimes is also already comfortable with his game in the NBA. He knows who he is. He's a vet, right? So like it's totally different than McCain, who had rookie success on a bad team, and he's obviously not comfortable and confident enough to just do what he was doing with less opportunity. Just kind of like what Embiid did when he first came out as that, well, not rookie, but when he was extremely young on a minute restrictions, he was like, okay, I have like 22 minutes in this game. Let's go. I'm getting it in. Give me my shots. I'm jumping for every rebound. And that was, he just tackled the game in the short time he was in there. It's like the NFL, right? Some running backs can show you their skill with 5 carries. Some need like 10 to 15 to really get going and show you who they are. Maybe McCain is one of those guys who just needs a little more opportunity. And then maybe he can scale it back once he gets comfortable with his games. I mean, I read a quote with him. I'm going to show it about the G League. He says, you get the feel to have the ball in your hands for a longer period of time. When you're playing with Tyrese, J, or Grimes, the guards, you never want to mess up what they got going on. That sounds like a guy who sees a team playing well and he doesn't want to sacrifice the synergy of the team in order to just progress and get better. That's what that sounds like. It's a very interesting quote coming from a player. Like it's him just saying, like, you guys are really playing well. I don't want to mess it up. Like that's what it is, right? And from the Sixers perspective, we're winning. We're a competitive team with kind of larger priorities than advancing McCain's game. Like we're not a lottery team just trying to like make our rookies better and young players better. That's not what I mean, yeah, it's great to do that while winning, but like we're not going to sacrifice anything like that for McCain. I mean, we're going to just try to win games, and that's playing the offense we are. And I think he understands that based on his quote. So I'd say let him play in the G League again, although it'll just be more of him playing with less talent, right? It'll be the same thing again, him playing with like lesser talent, and then he'll have to come back eventually and adjust to a good team again. But I guess if he plays long enough, maybe he'll just get confident, get rolling, and then just do what he was doing with less minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's if you send him to the G League, comes back. I mean, again, it's still having to adapt to the team you're playing with.
Yeah.
And I think this is, and I know Nick Nurse is getting a lot of flack for this. And I'll say, I mean, like, yeah, I don't think Maxey and Edgecombe should be playing 40 minutes plus a night. I think they do need to give him more minutes. I mean, to say with the last 5 games he's averaging 8 minutes, the whole month of December I looked, he averaged around 22 minutes a game during the month of December, and like, okay, great. What the hell happened? It's like, how do we go from averaging about 21 and a half minutes to all of a sudden in January we're averaging about eight minutes a game? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense to me. And granted, and also too, like the games he played in, I mean, December was a good month. I mean, we actually got him. Like, if people are going to say like, oh, we need to play Maxey and Edgecombe because we need them on the floor at all times. I mean, hey, he played 21 minutes a game in the month of December, and I think we had 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 4, 1.
5 double-digit games.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, and we had a winning record in the month of December too. So like, we need to get him on the court. Like he's never going to get back into the rhythm of things if you're not playing him. And I get G League will help him with confidence wise, but is it really a confidence thing, or is this more like we're just not playing him, so he's not getting enough minutes to showcase who he is? I don't think it is a confidence thing. That quote is interesting, but this guy played at Duke. This is a guy who came in and like where's nail polish, for crying out loud? I mean, like I don't think this guy lacks confidence. I just think he just lacks playing time right now, and I think this is all encompassing on Nick Nurse to find a way to get him on the court. You're right. We didn't have Grimes when he kind of went through his thing last year, but like, I mean, McCain and Grimes are a good backup 1-2 to DJ Edgecombe and Maxey.
Yeah.
So like, the fact that like it seems like we don't have confidence in him, right? Because it's like, if you're going to play Maxey and Edgecombe 40 minutes a game, it's like, well, you're acting like you don't think you have anybody behind them. But like, I remember the offseason, everyone was talking about, we need guard depth. Well, we have the guard depth. We're just not really using that guard depth because we're talking about a guy right now who could have been rookie of the year getting 8 minutes per game. I just think this is all Nick Nurse. He has to find a way to get him on the court. And I don't think putting him in the G League is really going to do anything. Yes, that can help with confidence, but I don't think it's a confidence issue. I think it's a, like, not playing enough time issue. And I don't think really going to the G League is going to help that at all.
I mean, he shot 28% in December, though, from 3. That's not good. That's not a lack of opportunity. Like you said, he played 21 minutes a game, and he shot almost 4 threes a game. Overall, 36%, 3 of 8 from the field on a nightly basis. But you know what? I mean, if he was like a rookie, we just say it was just like rookie bumps, right? I mean, so and he kind of is finishing off his rookie season. But the amount these guys play, or the lack thereof, development's going to take longer, right? Unless you're just a really bad team and you're throwing your rookie out there for 82 games at 35 minutes a game, sink or swim. But that's not what happened with him. He lost a lot of time because of his injuries. So yeah, I mean, is he going to develop playing 18 minutes a game and not really putting up a lot? I mean, I think maybe we're over-analyzing and baiting him a bit. I mean, that's just how it goes. Like, you're a rookie on a good team, got to find your spots. That's just all there is to it. Like, you think you might mess things up? Like, that shouldn't be entering your brain. Like, yeah, adjust your game. That's it. Like, there's a lot of rookies that come in and play good minutes in limited minutes for competitive contending teams. It just happens. So, Edgecombe, but Edgecombe, we kind of just give the ball to and say, go ahead. So it's a little different as far as usage goes with Edgecombe and McCain. But yeah, hopefully the brain trust there figures something out, because there is a lot there. So it'd be rough to see it go to waste, and to not. People are talking about trading him, maybe. I don't know. At this point, you wouldn't get the value back for him, right? So
that'd be a huge mistake to trade him. And maybe, the fact that, like, we are talking about a 23 game sample size where, like, he wasn't really playing with everybody last year, and we say, hey, like, we saw flashes. We saw flashes. Like, and I'm sure many of the teams who are seeing Quentin Grimes do his thing right now, they're saying, like, man, like, we saw him do that with us for a game or two,
Sure.
But now he's, carved himself a role. And, like, I don't know. I think it'd be a huge mistake to kind of give up on a guy. And quite frankly, too, you talk about, like, he didn't really have a rookie season. He didn't really have a full rookie season. He played 23 games last year. He's only played 30 games this year. So really, we're still in a rookie mode with Jared McCain. So right now we're at 53 games, right? 82 game season. Only 53 games in this guy's career so far. So he's still within a rookie season. So he's still learning about himself. And now he's learning to play with a team that he had Maxey, when you have VJ Edgecombe, when you have Paul George and Embiid and Quentin Grimes. So, like, it's an adjustment period. And we're talking about 53 games. If you want to trade this guy after 53 games, that's nuts. I mean, like, could you imagine that, trading him midway through the season last year? I mean, no one would have said that.
You also don't know Grimes' future. So to trade him right now and not knowing if Grimes is going to be here, that's just short-sighted and stupid, because maybe you want him to be your next Grimes, right? So, like, doing that now when you don't even have Grimes solidified in here is dumb. And maybe that's the reason why they haven't done anything yet, because they're like, you know what? Because they can't just say, oh, well, we have Grimes. We have Grimes right now, but Grimes is on his way to, wanting to earn a $25 million a year paycheck. So,
and I say pay Grimes, but and for me, like, we've seen him before. We talk about not having guard depth in the past. We really haven't had guard depth in the past. And for the first time in a few years, we've had, like, we can go 4 deep. It wasn't just so long ago. I remember we had George Hill come off the bench for us. We were excited about George Hill. So, like, let's be happy that we have these guys. But, like, to what you said, we don't know what Grimes' future holds. But also, too, I'm not foreshadowing anything here. I'm going to knock on wood. But when you are playing Maxey 40 minutes a game, when you are playing VJ Edgecombe 40 minutes a game, nicks and bruises and missed games will happen. That's naturally. I mean, these guys are phenoms and athletic phenoms, but, like, when you're playing 40 minutes a night, you're gonna be hurting. There's gonna be nights you're gonna be missed, and to have a guy like McCain to be able to back up one of these dudes, that's a huge asset. And he's on a rookie contract still. He's not even if he's played 82 games yet. He's only played 53 games in his career. So, like, You can't. And we've seen, obviously, what you talked about, when he was getting the full load last year, we saw flashes of a superstar. So, like, I mean, you can't give up on him. And for some fans to say they want to give up on him already, it's a little short-sighted here. And we're like basing it on a guy coming back he's come back from 2 injuries. We're talking about a knee injury as well as a thumb injury, too. So it wasn't just 1 injury. It's 2 injuries for a young guy who's 21 years old. So, like, yeah, I'm not. I haven't lost any faith in Jared McCain. I just think Nick Nurse has to find a way to lessen the minutes of Maxine Edgecombe and get more minutes for the McCain Grimes night shift. That's what
it's not only injuries either, right? It's poor play from fatigue. So maybe they don't get nicked up. Maybe they just like play poorly because the legs are tired, and we lose games because they have a bad possession in the late fourth quarter because they're just exhausted. So it's like there's just that, that can happen all the time. So if you want to avoid that and keep them a little more fresh, and we're in January right now. So what about April, May, hopefully June. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's 43 games left, so it's a lot of regular season games to be played. So
yeah.
All right, let's talk about another guy. So we talk about guard depth was a huge problem for us in the offseason. We figure out we have fantastic guard depth because VJ Edgecombe hit, Quinn Grimes came back, and power forward was a questionable topic, right? But Dominick Barlow, everyone's like, who's this Dominick Barlow guy? He played for the Spurs, played for the Hawks, and it's like, who's this dude? He's been one of the most pleasant surprises for the Sixers this season. Giving Philly needed toughness, rebounding, hustle at the 4 spot. Just a high kind of motor guy. The blue collar fans, the blue collar guy that fans have been begging for, right? Like, I remember for many years, you and I were like, man, just go get a guy who can just go clean up the boards. Like, you play in the series against the Knicks where all those guys are hustling, diving for boards, doing all sorts of things. Like, man, we just want that, right? We brought in PJ Tucker to do that, right? We paid him a pretty good penny too. We're not paying this guy anything, and he's doing everything that we want. Jabari Walker's also been phenomenal too. I know he doesn't get a lot of love as well. But when you have a guy who does the dirty work and the hustle and the diving and all that stuff, it's going to come at a cost, right? He's not making a lot, but it's coming at a cost in a different way. Barlow's went down with a back contusion, and thankfully he came back clean after the game against the Cavs. But it looked scary for a second. He had been helped off and everything was on the ground, like grimacing in pain. Second injury of the year, though. He had the elbow laceration contusion earlier on in the season, which he missed a flock of games for. So given that the power forward has been kind of a question mark going into the season, and still, you can make the argument sometimes like, okay, we could upgrade there. How confident are you in Barlow holding up for the rest of the season? And do you still think that is a position of need that we could go, click the upgrade button on power forward as we head into trade deadline season, buyout season? Where do you kind of stand on the Barlow and the power forward position right now?
So he's averaging 19 minutes a game in January, so I don't think he's going to get overworked. Those are high impact minutes, I will say. So it's like a running back only getting 8 carries, but it's all hard short yardage work. It's that's a lot of pounding. So I love his game. I think he's been such a boost on the glass, offensive glass, especially something that we've clamored for. We've liked a long time. He actually is a guy that would have killed us in that Knicks series. He's a guy that the Knicks would have had. They were like, who's this Barlow guy? We got Barlow getting rebounds on us. But now we finally have one of those guys. It's amazing. Now I think we've had some of those guys for a game or two. It's why can't they give this guy more minutes? Let him do this every night. They don't do that usually though. But the difference is he's one of those guys who does it for a game or two that catches your eye, but it's been consistent pretty much all season, which is awesome. For a big, I think it is a popular position people want to go for. It's probably one of our more glaring needs, I guess you could say. And I'm not even glaring, but if you're looking to upgrade anything, it would be the 4 position or just a big to play alongside Embiid. I see a Kongwu although that might be pretty expensive. Jay Huff's name. I saw Najee Marshall's name. I saw Jalen Smith. I saw that we talked to the Grizzlies about a trade around Christmas. But everyone's like, Morant? Like, no, it's not John Morant, dude. Like, yeah, that's the last thing we need. Another ball dominant guard.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense.
They said it's more of a deal around the edges, which sounds very Moore-ish.
Mhm.
So what? Brandon Clark?
It's not bad.
It's kind of like a Barlow, right?
Yeah, it's a little higher rated Barlow, a little bit.
Aldama? But he got paid.
Yeah.
He got paid. He makes like I think like 16 a year now.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. It's like we're getting another guy because he's kind of a scorer, right? Like he's not really a dirty work kind of guy. Like if we're gonna get a 4 in, I'd like Brandon Clark would kind of that would pique my interest. I want a guy like a Barlow, maybe a guy who can give us a bucket or like a wide open 3. He can knock it down, and that's one thing too. If Barlow can get a wide, if he can knock down a 3, like if he can give us, because I mean, there's so oftentimes, and he shoots them too, where he'll be wide open in the corner, and like I think he airmailed one really bad when against the Cavs the other day. But like he can give us that. Like, dude, Barlow's going to make some good money in this league if he can develop a decent, consistent shot. But like if you can find a guy like that. Sure, but like I don't want Aldama. It's another guy who's going to take a shot attempts and all this stuff. Like no, we don't need that. We already have 4 guys who are shooting 10 plus shots a game. I don't want Aldama. No, that wouldn't be my interest at all.
Yeah, I mean, I would maybe say Jalen Smith then kind of fits the bill what you're talking about. You know, can rebound. He's averaging 10 and 8 with 22 minutes a game in January so far. I mean, his 3-point shooting is rough in January, but December he shot 35% from 3, and he takes them. You can't really leave him wide open. Smart player. I think, yeah, I don't know. What's his contract? Smith.
You're talking about Jalen Smith from Chicago?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
3-year, $27 million. That's doable.
Is he on a contract year or something? Well, is he on the trade block? Why is that a name that's like that stuck out to you? Just based on need?
Need, and people have been saying like that's a guy to go after. Like that's a guy to target. I don't know if he's available or whatnot. Okay. Bulls are open and moving backup center Jalen Smith during trade season. There you go. So there you go. That's probably a huge one. So yeah, I don't think anything spectacular, but I think Jalen Smith fits the bill.
He does.
You know, they're calling backup center, so you can play maybe some small ball 5 if you need him to.
That's true, yeah.
So
yeah. And I love the thing I love about Barlow too is like, you know, because we talk about like look at the past 4s we've had in the NBA there. I mean, like, this is like something we've like kind of punted. It's been actually kind of pathetic, really, how we've kind of handled the forward position. Mike Scott, who played power forward for us, who was like had no business playing power forward. PJ Tucker, 6'4", PJ Tucker, who like played power forward. And yeah, he had his time in the league to be that guy. But like seeing Barlow out there, Barlow, I don't know what he's listed as. He's 6'11". Is he listed at 6'11"? I mean, he's a tall dude.
6'9".
I mean, yeah, okay, 6'9", but he looks taller than that. Maybe it's just the way his arm length and just like a lengthy dude. But like, having him next to Embiid out there, it's just like, honestly like it's like nice to see. And it's also not an empty height either. Like we talked about, he's a guy who's gritty. He's going to get rebounds, offensive glass especially. So like, if you can find a guy like Jalen Smith or a guy who can pair him with Embiid down there at the 4 spot, I would love that. We don't need a guy who's going to get buckets. We need a guy who's going to get glass and extend those possessions for us. So, yeah.
Bulls fans are huge Jalen Smith fans, by the way.
I mean,
look at that. They don't want to get rid of him. They don't want to get rid of him at all. It's hilarious. Like I'm reading a thread of like that report, and it's all Bulls fans going, "Yeah, that's why we're stuck in mediocrity. That's why we're terrible. That's why the wrong move. You're smartest, one of your best, young, most affordable players. You're gonna get rid of him." So people are not fans of that. But the Bulls, I feel like the Bulls say they're trading the roster away every year. I don't
do
know.
anything.
Yeah, I don't know how much to buy in that.
And I'll say this too, like a guy like Jalen Smith. Look, we're talking about Barlow right now. Like Barlow's a topic on our show. I don't even think we even talked about it when we signed him in the offseason, right? When we were doing all our offseason move stuff. Like the fact that we're talking about him, like teams like guys like this, guys who are going to go do the dirty work. And it's sad, man. We just haven't had this. And so, like, as long as he can stay healthy, like, maybe we don't need to make a move. But, like, I love what I'm seeing from him, and I love what I'm seeing from Jabari Walker. But do they make a move around the edges? Like Brandon Clark, Jalen Smith? I mean, sure. But, like, the blueprint's here. We have the blueprint. It's a guy like Barlow. And people, we talked about it last week, Daryl Morey, another great move, right? Like a guy like when we signed him, I was like, okay. Because I remember people making the joke in the offseason on Twitter, like, oh, yeah, we solved our 4 issues, Dominick Barlow, and people were like making fun of it and like laughing about it. But, like, there you go. And I remember during the Abu Dhabi games, he looked phenomenal. Who's this Barlow guy? Okay.
Yeah. Again, they don't usually stick around and play that well long term, right? It's usually like a little spark and it dies out.
Yeah.
But he actually has staying power. It's great.
Yeah, and Jabari Walker's also been great too. I mean, there's been games where he like comes in and actually like dominates and say, "Well, okay," like a 5-minute spurt. We're like, "Okay, there you go." Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right.
I would assume Jalen Smith would get more of those minutes, and then Barlow would probably get the Jabari Walker minutes, and then Jabari Walker would be the odd man out on that one,
which is fine. I mean, hey, you're getting Barlow for a 6-minute spurt.
Yeah, you get like 5 rebounds in those 6 minutes. Tell you that much.
He's gonna give you everything he's got for those 6 minutes.
You'll get like 2-3 offensive boards in those 6 minutes.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you want, man. That is exactly what you want.
But it's so crazy, like just the fact that we're like talking about Barlow right now. It's like, what took us so long to find like a gritty dude like this, a gritty guy who can crash the boards like this? Like, yeah, Mike Scott was a gritty guy, but he wasn't crashing. He was a board getter. Like he wasn't a banger.
Especially offensively, he was too busy, stuck in the corner, waiting for a 3-pointer.
Yeah. So like, I just don't understand what it took so long for an organization to go and get a guy like Barlow and get a guy like Jabari Walker. For many years, we saw other teams have these kind of guys. It just wasn't. It just wasn't a thing for us to go get. And the fact that we have 2 of them now, I'm really happy. And also, Bona's another one of those kind of guys, but Bona's a little bit gives you more defensively as far as
he's a lob threat too. He's got a little more juice when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think Smith would be about the archetype we want. 9 and 6 and 18 minutes a game, can hit open threes. I'm not sure what his career 3-point.
And these are perfect guys to go with Embiid. I mean, we see Embiid's falling off. He's falling off defensively, and he doesn't really jump as much. So to have a guy like that who's going to stand down there in the glass, get the rebounds, and then there you go, like that. It's
33%.
Jalen Smith is.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
So, yeah, it's really good.
I wonder what it would take to get a guy like that.
It's a good question. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are trying to add a guy like that, a guy who could just give you 9 and 7 in 20 minutes. It's, not be a liability. Can play backup 5, can play 4.
Where is he? You said 3 years, $27 million. Where's Jalen Smith currently in that 3 years?
He signed that in 2024, so I think this is his
last year,
second year, I guess. Yeah. So he's got one more year after this.
25, 26. He signed that in 24, so 24, 25, 26.
Let me see. Let me get the exact numbers right now.
Because this would be the contract year then.
No, he's got one more year after this.
Okay. So
24 was his first, 24, 25 was his first year, 25, 26 now, and then 26, 27.
Drummond and some picks. Drummond back to Chicago.
some picks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think we'd be able to do that. I don't think Drummond makes that much.
No.
You probably have to go Oubre, make some people's dreams come true and make some people's nightmares come true.
Yeah. Oubre's another interesting one, right? A guy who was and there you go. Talk about the questionable 4 spot. The starting lineup was going to be Oubre at 3, PG at 4, or whatever. Oubre at 4, a PG at 3. Again, a starting five without that gritty guy. Like, yes, Oubre is a gritty guy, but he's not the gritty kind of like Barlow type of guy. He's not cleaning up the glass like Barlow is. Oubre does hustle though, and Oubre does play his ass off. When he can't play, he can't play. He must be really hurt.
Yeah.
But again, Oubre was another nice find for Morey to pay like nothing to. So
yeah, I just think on the current roster construction, Smith would have more of a role here than Oubre currently has. We just have so many guys who can kind of, play a role over him.
Yeah, I mean, I think Watford's probably higher on the totem pole than Oubre is because Watford can do a lot of things.
Yeah, not availability though. Can't do that.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
Can't do that.
Yeah, struggle with a. All right, let's go to our final topic here. So with this starting five that we have, we're starting to see our guys, PG, Maxey, Embiid all together for the first time consistently. And so we've seen a lot of wins with these guys. However, we don't see a lot of losses with these dudes, which is a good thing. But also at the same point, when it does happen, it kind of sucks. And Embiid kind of talked about, acknowledging the loss with these guys, and he said it is a valuable one. It was a bad loss. It was a valuable one in terms of showing where the team needs to improve. Because, you can always say, like, oh, we didn't have a full crop of guys. And oftentimes over the last few years we have lost, say, well, you can't judge it because the guys aren't playing. Maxey's playing without so-and-so, or this guy's they're playing together for the first time in, all season. So you can't really take that loss and have it any merit. But now, as these guys are starting to play with each other, these losses do mean something. They are showing something because, we're seeing our unit, what the unit's going to be in the playoffs. So Embiid pointed out these kind of games reveal the gaps in execution, communication, chemistry, especially as this version of the roster finally starts to get consistent playing time together, which I thought was an interesting quote because, I honestly – or that wasn't an exact quote, but this is what he said after the game. But, I thought it was interesting because I was thinking about that too. It's like usually when these guys play together, they don't play that often with each other, haven't played that often with each other. And when they do play and they play together, they usually win. So it's interesting when you have losses like this, it exposes something. I don't want to say expose, but, it shows some things. What did that game expose to you about the Sixers' current weaknesses? And as far as not current weaknesses, but as far as these guys playing with each other in a, I know Cleveland's record's not the best right now, but that is a top dog in the East. They were 1 seed last year.
100%. So I think, looking at the game as a whole, I think the Cavs just came in focused on just dominating and staying focused on the game, right? And I think we came in with our classic, we used to do this a lot in the past, not as much this year because we're still trying to find our way, but we used to come in thinking our roster and the names on the back of our jerseys would just carry us to a win, right? And thinking the most recent fortune would just carry over into the game. I just thinking of the roster reputation and recent play will continue, and it doesn't really work like that, right? So it's a grind, and just because a team doesn't have the record they should, like Cleveland, doesn't mean they're as bad as their record indicates. Cleveland's much better when it's clicking, and it clicked, and they came in with the right focus and the right game plan. So Mobley must be nice to have just a versatile 7-foot defender who can guard all over the place. They were limiting our shots in the paint. They were making it hard for our bread and butter pick and roll to get going. Kyle Neubeck, he recently highlighted that we came alive a little bit creating some off-ball screens for Joel when we finally got a little creative when our main bread and butter wasn't working. That's when he got some clean looks. Hopefully we get to see that tonight. And of course, it helps whenever Mobley's not on the court. I read some interesting stats from the game, though. So Cavs are 9-1 when Mitchell scores 35 or more. That's pretty impressive. 5 of the Cavs had 3 threes. And then Sixers completed 54% of their shots in the restricted area. So they really held us to bad 3-point shots, which showed, I think we were at 28%, 12 of 43. They restricted us in the paint. So, you do that against our kind of team, you're going to win. And I don't think we had an answer to counter because not a lot of teams have stopped that for us this year. So I think one thing it really should get us to learn is that have a backup plan. When your initial plan doesn't work, you shouldn't just lose and lay down. So I think now it's good because, and you only get to have these if you're on the court together a lot, right? If you're only out on the court together 10 out of 82 games, you're not really going to have to adjust because you're not going to be out there long enough for a team to counter what your strength. But now, if you're out there a lot, which we have been lately, teams are countering our strength, and now we have to counter that, right? So tonight, it's very rare you get to play just two teams like this back to back at home too. We get to see how we counter that tonight, which is cool.
Yeah, very interesting schedule. 2 back-to-back against Toronto and then 2 back-to-back against Cleveland. Interesting how the NBA kind of paved that out. I don't really understand.
If they beat us bad again tonight, it's soul-snatching territory.
It is. And I'll say this too, like even last year when we didn't have our guys, and 2 years ago, Cleveland's been a force for the last few years. But like I remember it was like I think Buddy Hield's first game with us. I remember we came out and actually like we won one of those games. We stole them. It was out without Embiid, but it was Buddy and Maxey. We came out and won. And then last year, I Bleav the McCain Maxey team beat a Cavs team as well. So like we have like even when our teams have been bad, we've still mustered up these wins against the Cavaliers. So that was an alarming loss. But I do think a lot of this was like, and I'm not gonna say it's a good loss. I hate silver lining losses, but like these guys do need to lose together, especially when they are playing consistent with each other. I do like seeing them lose with each other so they can see like what is it right between with these guys because we haven't had a chance to like look at losses with these guys consistently. But I think this game kind of came down to the first quarter. They wanted a little bit more. They had 11. The game was here. They had 11 second chance points in the first quarter. That's it. Like that, and I think they had 8 offensive rebounds or 8 or 9 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. That was it. Like when a team's coming out and like having because it was kind of neck and neck all through that first quarter. Then all of a sudden you started to see like I kind of saw where the game was going. These bounces started getting these bounces like we had a steal. We would throw it to the wrong guy and then we get the ball back and then hit a 3 or like tip ball, stop on the floor, kick it out. And hitting threes. So like that was kind of where the game was lost, and it shit happens, right? 82 game season is going to happen at some point. But like I saw the second chance points. I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get dominated tonight, and really, and that's why stats are so misleading because you look at it. I think we only lost the offensive rebound battle by 1 in the end.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
that first quarter is what kind of set that lead for them. That kind of set the baseline for the rest of the game. So,
but yeah, I'd be curious to go to the. Let me see if I can find the split on that first quarter.
Oh, the first quarter splits versus the.
Yeah, I was trying to see. Yeah, it's tough. It's tougher than I thought.
They don't have so tonight they don't have Darius Garland in the lineup, so that should be and we should win this game. Garland left that game early and we still got dominated. But yeah, I think overall from a team standpoint, though, forget the Cavs game specifically, Tej. It is good to see these guys take losses like this, right? Like because we haven't seen this group together enough to like see like to actually game plan and blueprint. And forget like seeing these guys together enough. Usually when they play together, all these guys are on minutes restrictions, or two guys are on minutes restrictions. One guy, is like playing most of the time. So like. This is like the first time from a grand view standpoint where like none of these guys are on minutes restrictions and they took a butt kicking so that we can actually examine it from an X's and O standpoint. Like, okay, like this is what we need. Like, what do you make of that? Because I think this is our first loss we've had, a bad loss with all these guys on a minutes without minutes restriction, without any kind of like stoppage.
Well, it just shows you just because they're all playing doesn't mean we're going to win, and that's a valuable lesson in itself. Like you still have to game plan, you still have to execute. And if a team stymies your first shot at it, you got to adjust. And now there's a period where they're like, okay, dust is settling. We're pretty healthy, guys. Like we're not, it's not a revolving door of lineups. Now let's work on our adjustments. So this part of the season from here on out, that should be how it goes. You're going to get your team's best shot. It's going to get a lot tighter in the standings. People do not want to miss the playoffs. People do not want to be in the playing game. They want to play they want home court at least for one round. You're going to get teams' best shots, and this is the time to get adjustments. By the way, offensive rebounds 8-2 in the first quarter in favor of the Cavs. Guess who had our only offensive rebounds?
Barlow.
That's correct. And he didn't play the rest of the game, right? He only played 8 minutes in that game.
I think he only had 2 boards for the game, so those was only 2 rebounds he had.
Yeah.
What a stud.
Yeah.
See, I mean, Barlow, man, MVP of the season so far.
Guess who had the first 4 rebounds? Between only 2 players. They had 2 offensive rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds. You can probably guess it.
Oh, for them and us?
Yeah. Obviously, ours is Barlow. Who's theirs? Come on. Nah, Jared Allen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what Barlow, a little slightly shorter version of Jared Allen. That's what you should be going for.
Yeah. Jared Allen's another guy who if he added like a deep a shot to his game, he'd be unreal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm not like, I know some people were saying, oh man, like, well, this is what happens when we play against good competitions. Like, I mean, come on, like, give me a break. It's a 2-game season. I'll say this though, like, it's a big game tonight. We're currently 4th in the Atlantic Division right now. I think we're 5th overall. So we don't play again until Monday. So we have Cleveland, Indiana, Phoenix, Houston, and New York. So we have 2 tough games coming up here. Houston's a test, as well as New York next week. And obviously we'll get into the we'll be able to discuss the Houston game Friday next week, and then preview the next game on Saturday night. Nice. Saturday night on ABC. So it's a prime time.
And tonight's game was flexed.
Yeah, both games are on ESPN. Where the game against Cavs on Wednesday was ESPN, and tonight was ESPN. A lot of people were upset we didn't get enough primetime games. Well, I was starting to see them come in as we prove the world.
Before the season started, if someone told me we were having games flexed in January, I'd be like, okay, that's a really good sign that people want to see us play on the national stage. If not just to roast us, that's great. Okay.
Yeah. What also would tell you too, like, okay, that means Embiid's playing. Or
exactly.
Either Paul George is back to his MVP self or All-Star self, or Embiid is playing. So either way, I'll take it.
Or Edgecombe is like a phenom rookie of the year, and we kind of have like a 70-80% of all those things, don't we?
Yeah.
Like Embiid's like 80% of what he was. Paul George is like 80% of his All-Star self, and Edgecombe's like 80-90% of that rookie of the year phenom.
And I'll tell you this too. Another thing to talk about, like what we've learned from the losses, like. Paul George played one of his better games offensively in that game the other night. He had a couple. I think he had and one of them in the first quarter. He kind of kept us in when like the other guys weren't really doing much for us offensively. He was keeping us in games, and I heard we talked about the Tobias comparisons. Like guys, like Tobias wasn't doing half the things that Paul George can do offensively. So and that's not even talking about the defensive aspect of things, but I saw what Paul George can do if the other guys aren't cooking, and I like what I saw, and that honestly makes me happy going into the playoffs because look, we signed him for that, right? Sure, do we think he was gonna be the number 4 option? No, but when the other 3 options aren't playing their best or they're getting shut down, like they were kind of D'ing up Maxey in that game, Paul George can pick up the slack, and I did like what I saw from that standpoint too, and I think that's something that we can learn from when. Embiid don't have it. Maxey don't have it. Edgecombe don't have it. Well, Paul George can still give us buckets.
We need more playmaking, too. I mean, we had 3 guys with 4 assists that led our team. The Cavs had 3 guys with 6 assists or more.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you, we need a guy who can try to generate offense for other people. Luckily, Watford's good for that, too. He had 17 minutes. He tied our team in leading assists, 4 assists. So, just goes to show you he's got those chops. So we need more of that.
Yeah, I love Wofford, man. I think that is a guy. I'm happy. Was it 3-year deal, 2 or 3-year deal? I'm glad we got him
2, but yeah,
still good. 2 for 5. Yeah, I thought it was 3. I thought it was 3 for 5 deal. So I thought we got a pretty good bargain on him. And I was really surprised by it.
2-year, 5.3.
Okay, not 2 years. I'll take it. Still, it's good deal. Another bargain bin move by Daryl Morey.
Yeah, great.
But all right, guys. Well, that does it for us on this Friday show. We will see you guys next week. And we hope everybody has a good weekend, a good long Martin Luther King weekend. And we will see you guys next Friday. Take it easy, everybody.
Later.